5 weird ideas for improving your beats. Number 1, find the core of your beat. Core of your beat is this one thing, this one track that creates the vibe. The core is something that can't be removed. This is something that creates the song overall. So it's sometimes it's melody, sometimes it's chord progression, sometimes it's some kind of bass, some kind of drums or this sample or something like that. It's not that clear usually, it's not that easy to find the core because you need to really understand what you're doing. This is not easy, man. I will show you an example how to find the core. Generally, core is something that can't be removed, and when you find it, then you understand what can you do with your beat and what you can't do with your beat. It doesn't seem like idea for improving at first, but generally you need this to push your idea to the limit, because you just understand that you need to build around this core. You're not going to build around these other things that are just additional. You need to build around the core. So that's just first step, first idea for improving your beats in a weird way. Okay, so finding the core of your beat is actually pretty easy, because we just need to remove as many things as possible and we need to find out what we can't remove. So let's take a listen to this beat. Okay, so now let's remove it. It still sounds like our beat from the beginning, doesn't it? But now let's remove just this drum break. Now it's suddenly different beat, different vibe totally. We probably could all agree that this beat now is definitely different. So we just found out that the core is this drum break from some sample. Yeah, and that's basically how we find the core. This is one thing that you can't remove. By the way, this video could be sponsored by Rick Rubin and his book, because these ideas come from this book, but they are kind of more, I make them fit more for producing, because this book is more generally for artists, so I'm making this video specifically for producers. So generally you could read this book, but it's not so specifically for producers. This video is specifically for producers. I just transformed this advice for artists specifically for you guys. A second idea for improving your beats is breaking the rules, but at first finding the rules. So the longer you produce, the more little rules in your head are, okay? Probably you just stick to this one idea for this one way of putting snare there. You just stick to this one idea of creating melody. You just stick to this one idea of creating hi-hat. Like maybe even not one idea, but generally you got this set of rules. You're not thinking about them, but the more times you use them, it's harder to break them, okay? We all use some kind of rules. For example, I will not put snare on like first note. It has to be in the right spot to make hip hop beat. But sometimes we could do something. Sometimes we could do something about it. So generally, at first you need to really understand what specific rules do you use, because I'm not talking about like basic rules, so you want to like, you know, play snare on the spot or be in the key usually with the melody. But find your more specific rules that you stick to just subconsciously, because everybody have this kind of rules in his mind, and just try to break them. Break those rules. I will show you on my now example how I would do this in my beat. You should just sometimes go out of T. You should sometimes just, you know, don't make minor melody. Maybe make like, you know, there are a lot of scales generally, so you can do melody in major, or you can do melody in some kind of exotic scale, some Indian scale, some Arabic scale. There are a lot of scales and you can use them, so try to do that. Maybe, or maybe you always use chord progression. Maybe don't use chord progression in this beat. Maybe you always use some kind of like, you know, piano in your beat. Don't use piano. Maybe you always use 808. Stop using 808. Maybe just stop using bass overall. So find your rules that are very specific for your beats and break them. break them, bro. Okay, I give you permission. I generally think that I personally should do more breaking my own rules, because I don't have that many examples of breaking them. So just bear in mind, I am also not this good at this, so you don't have to be master of breaking rules. I'm also not master of that. So generally for me, kind of the rule is I'm not touching some genres. So I hate like rage beats, I hate all this opium, like just some people will shit on me because of that, but I generally don't like Playboy Carti, don't like Uzi, I don't even know what kind of rappers are in this niche. Generally, I don't like those beats, I don't like this kind of sound. So I don't make rage type beats generally, but I just one day I thought, why wouldn't I make rage beat, and it actually went out like that. Pretty decent beat. I don't know, I'm not into this niche, so maybe it sucks, but I'm generally pretty happy with this result. So yeah, just sometimes break your rules and maybe you will create a banger on the accident, okay? Because I also did this, I also had this with Jersey club beats, so yeah, I could show you more of examples, but generally try to experiment with your rules. Sometimes it can be your genre, okay? Sometimes it can be something different, but generally you need to find your rules and then you need to break them as hard as possible. If you watched this video till this point, I think that you are a really advanced as producer and you should make at least your first K from selling beats. If you haven't achieved that, I got something for you. It's first link in the description is a special video for me where I speak specifically on selling beats. It's not making better beats, it's not mixing, it's not blah blah blah. This is just speaking about selling beats online, how to crush it, and by the way, how to crush it without getting a lot of following. So just generally how to maximize your profits from producing. So go into first link in the description if you want to make your first K from selling beats online. Bye. Third idea is a little bit more general, so you should avoid distractions. If you want to improve your beats in a weird way in the long run, you should avoid distractions during producing, and there are a lot of ways for this. The first is producing very early in the morning, so 4 or 5 a.m. when nothing distracts you, no internet, no notifications, nobody talks to you, your parents sleep, your friends sleep, your girlfriend sleeps, so nobody will call you, nobody will text you, will get no distractions at all early in the day. A second tip is just go offline while you're producing, so switching off everything. You just got your computer for producing and you should switch off the internet in the whole house generally. And special tip from me is using headphones, because headphones will just separate you from the outside world kind of. Speakers will not do that for you, but headphones will make you feel a lot more like in the zone of producing. I don't know if you know this term, like being in the zone. It's more for, I think, that people that do sport, but generally you will get into this producing zone when you put on your headphones. On your speakers you are more likely to just bounce, like move your head, but on the headphones you will just really get specific, you will just get really into the beat, okay? Idea number 4: stop relying on inspiration till the end of your life, okay? Stop waiting for inspiration, stop thinking about it, just delete your idea of inspiration from your mind. Inspiration is not real, it doesn't exist. A lot of people will argue and they say that their best beats were inspired. That's not true. Your discipline will always win with your goddamn inspiration. I thought that, I don't know, maybe I got this more military approach for producing, but Rick Rubin, so this book is specifically for artists, so even this is for kind of guys who just write poems, don't make money out of that, and they are all happy. Even in this case, Rick Rubin will tell you, motherfucker, there is no inspiration. You need to have discipline. You need to make beats regularly. When you stop waiting for inspiration, you will actually never have beat block again. Because at this point there is no beat block. You just give a better day, worse day, or I have 5 days I don't make any good beat at all. So these are like 7 out of 10 beats. They are not that bad, but they are not that good. And what one day I just go and make 10 out of 10 beats. I'm not even thinking about inspiration, okay? So if you want to progress, you need to make a lot of beats, but if you wait for inspiration, you will make 10 times less beats, because how often are you inspired? Like, 5% of your producing time, 10% of your producing time? You can't do anything with inspiration. This is external factor. We can't improve this inspiration. We can't do anything with that. So just understand how to produce without any inspiration at all, and when it comes to you, okay, maybe you will make a little bit better beat, but you need to be prepared for the situation where you are not inspired for months. Okay, so now we're going to, so let's say that you want to go full-time right now. You go full-time, you make nice money, but now for 3 months you have no inspiration. So what? You will stop eating? I don't know. Like, you will just stop making money just like that because you have no inspiration? If you're okay with serving for 3 months because you have no inspiration, maybe that's the way for you. But for guys that are really willing to go into this thing, you need to understand, remember it till the end of your life. Discipline beats inspiration in every fucking scenario overall, okay? The last idea for improving your beats, so idea number 5, is experiment as much as possible, okay? Even if you already found the right snare, if you already find the right hi-hat pattern, right melody, right chord progression, you got all sound selection, everything, try something else. Just in every case, try to find something else. Maybe it will be worse, maybe it will be better, okay? Generally, because don't think about putting this new thing in your beat that you will destroy it and it makes no sense. No. Every beat that you make is your way of improving your craft. So don't think about this experiment as about some kind of improving this beat specifically. It's improving you. We are improving this way. When we experiment on our beats, we are improving. So next time when you got this chord progression and you think that that's it, that's ready, that's great, try to do something more with that. Try to change the instrument, try to put this weird snare there, maybe it will work. 90% I'm sure it will not work, but maybe it will work, okay? So just try to look for new ways of producing, man. On my own example, I made this beat. Yeah, this is some sample chop, and I generally thought that this is enough at this point, okay? This is like this. Let's break it down. This is this one chop plays all over again, and this one additional chop. But I just decided to do some experimenting because I thought, and I can do better than that. So it's in the another project. Okay, so what I did at first, this is not necessary here. I changed this chop, like these are different chops. We can see that, and I also did some reversing. So you can't just hear or see that at the first sight. But let's just take a listen. Yeah, so now it sounds way more interesting, way more complex. There's like, it's a lot more detailed, like, more chops, they are more interesting, structure is different. So the first idea was good enough actually, but we always can experiment with something that will be even better. So don't be afraid to experiment. You got your project saved anyway, so you are not risking at all. You are just trying to improve your craft at this point.